When Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg decided to stop paying Rupert Murdoch for Rupert's News Corp news, this is what he got. Tech tyrant goes to war with Australia. There's Mark. Hello. There's the photo of Mark. Hello, I'm coming to war with you. Now, what's all this fuss about? Mark had decided not to be bullied by Rupert anymore into paying the American billionaire to carry the American billionaire's stories in Australia. Hardly a war with Australia. Not to be outdone, Nine Entertainment's AFR, the Australian Financial Review, lashed out too this time. The time has come for Parliament to fire its cannon at Meta. Meta is the owner of Facebook. Meta, the story said, is officially unfriending Australia in the latest example of the company's brazen indifference to regulations of the content creators that feed their platform. Its bombshell refusal to pay for news may come as no surprise, but the shockwaves for Australia, our democracy, economy, and way of life are profound. All because Zuck doesn't want to pay Peter Costello's Nine Entertainment. Bombshell? What is this bombshell nonsense? Well, 4 years ago, hoodwinked and bullied by Rupert and Peter Costello, Josh Frydenberg, the then treasurer, set up what he called were world-first media reforms. It was actually just a protection racket for the coalition's media mogul mates, but dressed up as funding quality journalism. They hoodwinked, in fact, the whole Parliament. Almost all of them down there in Canberra voted for it. Now, to explain how the internet works, because parliamentarians don't seem to be in touch with that, their staffers do all that kind of fiddly stuff. When you click on a link on Google or Facebook, it takes you to the website of, say, News Corp or Nine, the Australian or the AFR. You then click on that link and it takes you to the paywall for news or the AFR. Whereupon, if you wish to pay for their majestic content, you go shopping and you pay for it. News and Nine had been sobbing, they'd been wailing to the stars to get these so-called world-first media reforms through. They're called the Digital Media Bargaining Code. That's the name of the law, or the half-law as it is. Rupert and Peter were saying, they are stealing our content. The evil tech giants are stealing our content. That couldn't be further from the truth. They were providing free advertising, free leads, so customers could make a choice. Zuckerberg was not charging for this free advertising. Neither is Google. It is the way that the internet works. The so-called platforms such as TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and so forth, Twitter, they post links and abstracts to the content providers, which go across all platforms, and consumers click on the links and decide whether or not to pay. Zuckerberg obviously just got fed up in the end. Now, we're no apologists for this guy, even though some Rupert fangirls and fanboys have slagged us off as being Zuck's cuck online. Nobody than this media organisation has done more to expose Google Australia and Facebook Australia for their sketchy corporate structures and their tax avoidance. But Zuckerberg clearly doesn't want to carve out an exception for local country publishers, or his business model doesn't work. He'll have every publisher in the world coming at him. It's unrealistic. This is like, let's say it was back in the day, say 1905, when the horse and buggy was still around and cars were becoming a thing, and the government of the day ordered the car makers to pay the buggy makers cash, secret cash, to prop them up Only the big buggy makers, not the little independent buggy makers like yours truly. That's what these supposed free marketeers, these capitalist espousers are saying to the government. You need to intervene in the market to prop up this old industry, which isn't as profitable as it used to be. Force them to pay money. It's corporate socialism that Rupert and Nine are espousing here. And guess what? The tax paid by Google Australia, slumped sharply in the wake of this bold media reform. The costs of paying Rupert, the American billionaire, are no doubt deductible. So what we have is effectively a subsidy. When Google stopped paying tax, that affects the ATO's receipts. It means other people have got to pay more tax for the same provision of services. They've just said, bugger this, we're not going to pay tax. We are being forced to pay Rupert and Peter. We have tracked this all from the Google and Facebook accounts. Rupert, of course, is a major league global tax avoider too. So there you have it. There's no moral high ground in this argument. So Zuck is not going to war with Australia. Rupert is whining because his corporate welfare is at risk. And the upshot now is that there is a war of lobbyists in Canberra. Sorry, Lobbyland. Facebook sent a team. It's hired local lobbyists with pull in Parliament with the Labor Party. And Rupert and Nine are sending their own lobbying troops as well. That is what the war is about. And what is at stake? Hundreds of millions of dollars in payments by Google Australia and Facebook Australia to Nine News and other billionaires such as Kerry Stokes and, to be fair, some smaller publishers such as Guardian and Crikey and so on. The ABC gets a cut too. So their coverage the coverage from all these outlets has been skewed. None of them are telling the truth. You see, there's no arbitration mechanism to decide who should get these payments. They are secret. The law is half-baked. So where does the money go? It goes to prop up corporate profits. There's no instruction or no mandate that it has to go to finance journalism. It can finance entertainment shows or lunches. There is zero stipulation that the money has to be spent on quality journalism. And the journalism which it has funded is sparking no interest whatsoever. Facebook has already junked its shabby little news offering as a result of the Digital Media Bargaining Code. And let's check out Google News Showcase, which Google Australia set up to showcase this news which they are paying for, which nobody ever sees, which we are paying for with our taxes. Here is the result of the Digital Media Bargaining Code. It's Google News Showcase. And what do we get if we go to Google News Showcase? If we click on the links to the Australian or Rupert's various titles around the country, we still hit the paywall. So it's still an advertising. There's no payment for journalism. You can't see it on Google News Showcase. You hit the paywall. It's just another advertising lead provided by the platforms, and they're paying for the lead which they're providing to the billionaire media. So the news that we're subsidising is still behind a paywall. This is the sort of thing. Sky News Australia, yet another story on the Royals, the British Royals. Huge news value there. Or the Wangaratta Chronicle. Here's the story from the Wangaratta Chronicle. A toilet block, which one Wangaratta woman says resembles a dungeon, could soon be revamped, with Woolworths Wangaratta currently awaiting planning approval to completely replace the public facilities. Now, there is public interest in that story if you want to go to the toilet in Wangaratta, but there are bigger fish to fry. Or this from Rupert's local rag, the Manly Daily. Enroll now to vote for the Northern Beaches' cutest dog. You get the picture. So the billionaire media, the old media, is demanding the government designate, is the legal term, Meta, the Facebook owner, so that Meta is forced to pay the government's media mates to provide links to their content. And if that is an honest process, it will mean the government will have to set up an arbitration mechanism which forces the platforms to negotiate with every news media, which means there is no way Google Australia and Meta are going to agree to it. So will it be down to more secret payments? Will Zuckerberg be browbeaten into paying a bit more, or will he just pull the news out of Facebook and say you can put your stuff on there if you like, but we're not paying you for it? Facebook's dying anyway. It's sort of vibrant market is in the 70-year-old plus demographic. And who's next anyway? If these guys are forced to pay, and if there is an arbitration mechanism, if the platforms are designated, who will be designated next? Twitter, TikTok, Reddit? It's a slippery slope, you can see. Can you imagine Elon Musk, the Twitter owner, being told he has to pay to link to Andrew Bolt on the Herald Sun? It's not going to happen. Now, we survive on community donations, so thank you for your support. Please help if you can, or like, share, and comment in the section below.